Hey guys, what's up? It's Anna Louise and I am in for another Storytime video because I'm literally loving Storytime videos so much recently. I love watching them and I equally love making them. And so I have another Storytime, and as you can tell by the title, this is about the time or slash times where I have pretty much gotten harassed by a really creepy waiter. Basically the whole thing is just extremely weird. And yeah, so it's gonna be a story. So let's just go ahead and get right in. Okay, you guys, so one thing I freaking hate that happens to me so much, especially since I've gotten older, is every time, well not every time, but so many times I will go out by myself to like a restaurant or a store and get harassed by a male. Like they will say something to me, they'll come up to me and be like, can I get a hug? Or something like that feels absolutely harassing, and they will try to like flirt with me and be like, can I get your number, and just like laugh, especially if they're in groups. And it's extremely terrible. I'm someone who cries a lot, like not even gonna lie, I'm a crybaby, and like when that happens I just want to cry like so bad. So that happens a lot to me. And so basically, like I said, that happens a lot. And then now for this, we basically go to this one Mexican restaurant a lot, like so much. Like the waiters and everything there know us very well. I love Mexican food, my family loves Mexican food, and especially authentic Mexican food. And so we go to this restaurant a whole lot. Now, you know, ever since me and my family go, it's normally like me and my mom and my dad. That's like who mainly goes with me. And there's this one waiter there, and he's always like had this weird thing about him to where like he will come up to you and be all like and like all happy and jolly, but in the like weirdest way. And it's almost hard to explain, but he has like that look in his eye. And I look young, obviously. I know I do. Like, I get it so freaking much that I'm like 16 or like even once 12. I was 19 and someone said, you look 12. Like, what? And so basically, you know, I'm with my mom and my dad, and he always like looks at me like with the corner of his eye, and we like make awkward eye contact all the time when he's our waiter, or if like even if he's not our waiter and he's there, which he's there all the freaking time, he will come up to our table and like just like talk with my dad. And then he'll like always look over at me and like playfully joke with me and be like, I don't know, I really don't know an example. Maybe he would be like, you don't eat that much, like why are you not eating more? Or like something like that, and like laugh all weird, you know? Like it's a really creepy vibe that plays off. So that basically happened like a lot. But then one time, one of my friends wanted to take me out for my birthday, which I thought was so sweet. And normally if anyone takes me out like for my birthday, or if I go like with a friend to eat, it's always to the Mexican place. I mean, that's just like what happens. But that's not very often. Like keep in mind, I say I mostly just go with my mom and dad, like as a family like eating out thing. So my friend, she doesn't even live here. She lives in like the town over. So let's just call her Stacy. So me and Stacy go to this Mexican restaurant and we're sitting there, and I get there before her. Like I'm starving. I eat so freaking early, guys. Like, so I went ahead and went there to eat. So I got there a little bit before her because like I say, she lives in a town that's like this. I like how I'm like to this side of me, like that even makes sense. But anyway, she lives in a town close to mine, but not in mine, so it does take a little longer to get to the Mexican restaurant. So I'm sitting there and just like snacking on my chips and salsa, because I freaking love chips and salsa, and that waiter's there. Now, I've never been there by myself to that restaurant. Like, I'm somebody who will not go like in and eat by myself. It makes me feel like depressed for some reason. So I was there, and he comes up to me, and he just starts like talking to me, and I can't even understand him, to be quite honest. Like, it's really hard to understand him. And so I'm like, what? Like, what? And then when I still can't understand, I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. But that happened a little bit, and then he was like, what's your name? No, wait. So then, after a little bit of me not really understanding what he was saying, and keep in mind, this guy is like mid-30s. Like, I would definitely say mid-30s. And then he's like, are you, like, waiting on your boyfriend? And I was like, no, my girlfriend. And I meant, like, well, my girl that's a friend. And then I started feeling all awkward. Because I was like, that makes it sound like I'm talking about, like, my girlfriend. And I was trying to say, no, I'm just here with a friend. And yeah, so I was like, no, I'm just waiting on my girlfriend to come here and we're going to eat. She's taking me out for her birthday. Or for my birthday. And he was like, it's your birthday? Do you want us to, like, come and sing to you? And I'm like, no, because I freaking hate when restaurants do that. And I was just feeling really awkward about it. And then he was like, what's your name? I see you all the time, but, like, what's your name? And I was like, Anna. What's your last name? He said. And then I said my last name. And he was like, okay. And, like, he was kind of, like, thinking about it for a second. And then after asking if I was there with a boyfriend, like, why would he just immediately assume that? Like, I could have been waiting for my mom. I could have been waiting for my friend, which I was. So he just immediately assumed that. And, okay, my background's messed up. By the way, you guys, if you are a regular follower of my channel or subscriber, or if you're new, let me know if you like this background, like, compared to my other ones. Just let me know down below. But anyway, I don't know why he immediately assumed that I would be there with a boyfriend. So anyway, after he asked my last name and I told him, he was like, okay, like, processing it. And then he was like, do you have a Facebook? And I'm like, yeah. I'm not telling you it. Well, obviously you can look it up by my name though, so I mean, there's like what's to tell. But I was just like, yeah. And it was like really scary and awkward. And also in moments, you know, I freeze up and I'm like, I don't know what to say. And then, you know, I just start like just speaking. And it's just hard because you know those moments where you don't know what to say, or you say something, then afterwards you're like, damn it, why did I not say that? Like, that's how I was. So I was like, yeah, I have a Facebook, like. But I was so scared after that he was like gonna go and like look me up, and I mean he may have. Honestly, he's not ever added me, and if he did, I wouldn't accept it anyway. But anyway, he asked that, and then he was just basically like, he asked my name again because he said something about like forgetting it, and I said Anna, and then he mumbled something that I could not hear, but I swear it sounded like bonita, which bonita in Spanish is pretty, or like beautiful, pretty, I think. It's been a while, but I know a little bit of Spanish. I got a 98 in high school in my Spanish class because I love Spanish, like I really did, and I can speak it like broken up. And he said bonita, and I was like, what? I actually said what because I was like wanting to see if he would repeat it so I could like really tell, you know, and just see, because I was like, what the heck? And he just said nothing, like he like had that nervous laugh. Like, literally. So I was like, this is so awkward. And he just walked away. So that was, like, the first really scared, or, like, freaky, scary part about it. And then my friend comes in. I tell her everything. And she's like, that's so creepy. Like, did you tell Bryce, which is my fiance? And so I did. And he was, like, really mad about it. And like, what the heck? And just thought it was really weird. And so she was there. And then, basically, let's just fast forward a little bit through us eating. So we had ate and I had to use the bathroom. We stayed there and like talked forever. So like I had to go use the bathroom, so I get up and go. Well, as soon as I get up and use the bathroom, this waiter comes over to our table. And if you can hear my phone, I'm sorry. Let me just silence it. Okay, so I went to the bathroom, and as soon as I go to the bathroom, I'm in there, and then I get this text from my friend. And she's like, please, like, hurry up and get out of here. This waiter is over here, and he's making me feel extremely uncomfortable. Like, please, Anna, hurry up and get out here. So I'm, like, freaking out, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like, I'm hurrying. So then I obviously finish using the bathroom, and I hurry up and, like, get right back out there because I'm, like, I know how I would feel because I was in that situation of just sitting out there. So I go up to her, and I'm like, I'm here, like, I'm really sorry, and then she tells me what happens. And basically, since, like I said, this girl does not live in my town, and she goes basically to the Mexican restaurants in her town, and she said maybe she's been there, like, at this one maybe once or twice, but, like, not a lot or often. And she even said, she was like, I don't even think I know this guy. But this waiter proceeded to ask if she had a Facebook, which she said no, because she doesn't. And honestly, I should have said no, even though I do. But like I said, really wasn't able to think clearly at that time. But he asked if she had a Facebook, and then she was like, or he said, "Do you still live in blank?" Like, insert the name of her town. He knew where she lived. Like, how? Like, she doesn't even come here a lot. And also, even if she did go there, like, how would he know where she lived? And then he was, like, questioning her about her, like, family and how they were. And, like, all that weird stuff. And he asked her name as well, and just some other stuff, and that she felt really uncomfortable, especially about knowing where she lived. So we thought it was, like, really freaky and creepy. And at that point, we just wanted to get out of there. So we did, and that was like the really creepy part of it. And now move on to another weird part. Like, I feel like it kind of goes in stages. So basically, we left. I go back with my family. He acts like the normal way that he always did, even though it was a little bit creepy and weird. Like, I got these weird vibes from it. It was nothing extremely weird because I was with my mom and my dad. And then my fiance comes down to visit me every other weekend because he goes to college away from here. So he comes back and visits me, and we just decided to go out and eat at the Mexican restaurant. Now, we've never been together, like, on a date to go there, because normally we just like to stay in my house because we literally get like one day together. So we just like to kind of stay in and watch movies. But this time we were like, okay, let's go out and eat. So we go out and eat, and we get him as a waiter. Now, when this man comes up to wait on our table, he acts like he has never seen me before in my life. He walks up and he like mumbles basically when he's taking our order. He barely speaks. He does not even look at my face. Like, he just kind of just like looking down, acting like I don't even exist. And also, whenever he brought us our stuff, like, I'm not saying he like poisoned me, because like I can't just randomly say that. But whenever I ordered my drink, it tasted so weird. And I'm like, hey, Bryce, like, taste this. It really tastes weird. And he agreed that it did a little bit. So, like, I'm not saying, like, he did anything necessarily to my stuff. But I was thinking, like, as in poison-wise. But I was like, what if he, like, used dirty or dishwater or just some kind of, like, weird water? Because he was mad that I was there with, like, my fiance. He didn't even know I was engaged. But, like, what he would probably think was my boyfriend. And because it really hadn't tasted like that, so I was like, I mean, he could, because there's really no telling, like, what he would do. But anyway, we ate our food and stuff. He still acted, like, extremely weird. And then, when it comes time for the check, like, I don't make my fiancé pay for everything just because he's the guy. Like, we take turns paying, and it was his turn to pay. Or no, it was my turn to pay, sorry. And he goes up to us, and he just hands my fiancé, like, the bill. Like, doesn't put on the table anything. He just straight hands him the bill. And I'm just like, I don't know, it was just extremely freaking awkward. So that happened, and then we left. It was really weird, and I told Bryce, I was like, that's the guy who was being really weird to me and, what do I even call my friend? Stacy? That's the guy who was being really weird to me and Stacy that day. So basically, that happened, and then fast forward a little bit, and then this past Saturday, me and my fiance went back to this restaurant. Now, when we went back this time, he was the exact same way. He did not, like, act like he knew me. He mumbled under his breath. It was extremely awkward, and I hated it because I really wanted to go there just to have a good time with my fiance and just enjoy, like, going out and eating. And he made it extremely awkward and hard to enjoy it because, like, he wouldn't look me in the eye. He looked down. It was extremely weird. Like, I just don't understand. And since he harassed me and then I was there with, like, my fiance, it was such a weird and just freaky, like, awkward, like, incident, you know? So he was just acting, like, really weird, not making eye contact, and whenever he would freaking bring our food, he would just, like, not throw it because you can't throw a plate, but, like, kind of toss it on the table, like, roughly, not say anything, and just, like, walk off. And with my fiance, he asked for, like, extra, I think it was, like, guacamole and sour cream. So he asked for that. Like, he took forever to freaking bring it. And when he did, he just kind of, like, tossed it down and, like, walked away. And I was just like, this is so awkward. And it just made me want to hurry up and get done eating because this guy is so freaking weird. So we got done eating, and he did the same thing with the bill again. And it was my turn to pay. And my fiance felt really awkward because he was like, you know, he just kind of felt bad because he was like, I don't want people to think I mooch off of you or whatever, because, you know, we take turns, but it's not like other people know that. So I basically handed him the money, like, at the table so he could go up there and act like he was paying for it, because the guy, like, literally acted so weird about it and, like, so rude that it was just, like, really awkward and embarrassing. So that happened. And then the next day, Sunday, me and my mom went there to eat for lunch. So, as you can tell, we really like this place. So, we went there to go to eat for lunch, and that waiter was there. He didn't wait on us, but he was back in, like, the back part of the restaurant. He looked at me and made eye contact and, like, literally got the biggest grin on his face and was like that to me. And I was like, you know, and it was so weird because then that night before we went, he acted like he didn't even know who I was, like I didn't exist. And then there, just because I'm with my mom, he gets this big look on his face, and it was so weird. Like, I mean, there's not without a doubt that something isn't going on with him. Like, it's creepy. So he did that, and then he came up and was like, hey, and like all like giggly, like to me and my mom. It was so weird. And I just told, like, my fiance, I was texting him and I was like, that waiter is here, and he acted like he knew me today, and he was like back to his old ways. But it was just weird that across the restaurant he would do that, because he hadn't even like done that before when I was with my parents. So I don't know, it was just really weird. So basically, that's what happens with this waiter at this restaurant. And I told some people about it, and they're like, well, why didn't you like tell on him? This is something I haven't even told my parents, and I don't know, I'm just weird about things like that, because stuff like that really hurts me, because I'm tired of like being, that's one thing that bothers me, I guess you could say, about being a woman. And I know this happens to like guys too, but like just going out by myself and basically being vulnerable to these things, because that stuff happens a lot to me, and it's just hard because it never happens to me when I'm wearing like a big t-shirt and stuff like that, or like my hair's not done. But if I wear like shorts or anything, that's normally when it's going to happen to me. Like anytime I try to dress, you know, like dress up, I guess, like that happens to me, like with a cute top and everything, and they're always like, hey, and like coming up to me and being weird. So it's just really frustrating and I hate it. And so I get to like where it just bothers me inside. I start getting really upset and like wanting to cry, because I'm like, I don't like this. Like, why does this have to happen? It's so unfair. And so I just really don't like to talk about it, and it makes me nervous to talk about it as well, like to tell someone about it. So it just makes me nervous, because like we go to this restaurant a lot anyway, and I don't know, it's hard because it's such an awkward thing, and I'm really getting tired of it, especially when I want to go there with my fiance, and if he's there and he waits on us, like it's just not it's not the ideal situation. So yeah, you guys, that is the story about the waiter who is a freaking like psychopath, like harasser. So yeah, but anyway, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this story time. I definitely need to make like updates to some things that have happened in story times. Like I'm sure more stuff will happen with this situation. Like I feel like it will. So I will definitely be probably making an update. Hopefully I won't have to, but if I do, I will definitely make an update. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. If you do enjoy my story times, please let me know down below. And yeah, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this, like I say, and I hope you will please give this a big thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe, which you can do by hitting my face right here, and then you can also watch another one of my videos by clicking right here, and it would really mean the world if you would do so. And yeah, you guys, so I hope you have a great day or night or whenever you are watching this, and I will see you guys in my next video.